zum Start des ersten Spielschritts 12 Tages geworden. Wieder den Kollegen Paul setzen unten im Austausch.
Ja, dat is steeds aan de finish. Good. Ja.
Bleibt aber verfolgt das. Ich mache es nicht. Ich bin dabei. Wir beide, wir brauchen unsere Leitbeiner, so Turbos und dann ziehen wir nur noch.
BMW IBSF Women's Monobob World Championships 2024. We're in Winterberg in Germany, the second heat of a 4-heat race. So 2 heats today, 2 tomorrow to decide our champions. And the morning snow appears to have brought some cloud with it, so the track will be more humid, may well slow down in this second heat. Well, all 26 sleds will go. And in our lead group, we've got an enormously tight pack. The first 6 sleds covered by 0.2 of a second. And Adam Baird, Brianna Walker in 3rd place, in with a real shot at a medal here for the first time in a World Champs.
Yeah, absolutely, Martin. I think consistency is going to be key for this race now, especially with the tight grouping in the top 6 for sure.
Now, brand new start record for our second fastest slider, Cynthia Appiah, and for the first time this year, really looking like she was on top of the sled rather than wondering what on earth had happened. So this could be a real turnaround for her.
Yeah, she's definitely pulling it back now. We'll see how she gets on now. It's like I said, consistency is key, especially for her.
But the expected front runner is the most winning racer so far this season, Lisa Buchwitz. She got within a couple of hundreds of the start record, but she drove down with a new track record. So the fastest ever trip down here in a monobob has already been taken. Now let's see what they can do to catch her. She doesn't have a massive margin, only 500s in front, but there's a lot of support for her. They can see her friends and family. There's a few more I know hanging around in the back by the Glühwein stand. Still snowing, and really quite a lot of snow coming down now. So the first starters will have a clearer track, and the later starters, which will be the top order, it may be a little bit snowier. So Buchwitz by 500s from Appiah, 600s back Walker, 800s back Lauren Nolte, 1300s back Alana Myers-Taylor. Certainly anybody in the top 8 right now has got a shot at a medal over the remaining 3 heats. It's definitely not out of the question. Sylvia Hoffman tied in 9th with tied with Adele Nicola, Great Britain, and they have got a close battle all around them. But it is Lisa Buchwitz that everybody is chasing. And over 4 heats, her knowledge of the track, her experience, her confidence alone this season is going to make her really tough to beat.
Yeah, she'll be comfortable at this track with her being a German on a German track.
And she's had 4 wins this season. She's barely been off the podium in the mono, so she's absolutely ready for this. Now, of course, the other side of that is she was a bronze medalist in last year's Worlds behind the woman in the pink there, Lauren Nolte. So she's got everything it takes. It really is catch Lisa, I think.
Yeah, interestingly, we thought she was going to have the fastest start time. She's actually 5th.
Well, maybe she was just being careful about the zero curve, because the 2 quicker starters ran really hard straight into it. Well, 26 sleds go 25th down to 1st on their first heat ranking, and then the final sled will be Romania's Georgeta Popescu. So we will have a sweeping protocol in place. They will step into the track and sweep after, I would think, every second sled probably. To get this second heat underway, it is Laura Jolo of the Netherlands. Lauren making her first senior race. She's not started in the World Cup. This is her first World Championship race, just 20 years old, and this is the 17th monobob race of her life.
Yeah, just hanging it off corner 0 a little bit long there.
6 dead start, so 300s quicker than her first. Maybe just a little less tense, I think, than the first start.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of snow in that track now.
Yeah, there is, isn't it? It blows in over the 4-5 wall. A lot of you see is quite well covered. You're in a bit of an icy tunnel. On the corners, it'll gather at the bottom, but not where the sled runs.
We've got a tap going into 9 there, which looks like she's controlled it well. Oh, late off 9 though.
Big skids.
To a skid, yeah.
Yeah. And that cost you speed all the way down now to the finish line. Still going downhill till here. And then this very steep 3- or 4-story climb up to the finish line and across 59.66. Well, 300s quicker than her first heat.
Yep, consistent.
Yes. A little ripple of applause there from Eva de Bruin.
Yeah, 2 consistent runs there, and that's what she wants for her first World Champs.
Yeah, I mean, the first day, you want to get down with no major dramas, without a crash, and just bed yourself in. It's a big step, isn't it? You know, coming up from Europe Cup where you're racing, you know, your peers, but there's nobody around pretty much. And then coming to the Worlds where there's a lot of noise and commotion. Silly things like headshots and getting, you know, TV cameras stuck in your face and the jib waving over your eyes at the start. You know, it's all a distraction.
The red carpet treatment.
Yeah. Well, she was analysing her own run there as she watched it on the big screen. Next up for Austria is another one of our 10 rookie sliders in the field of 26. Lea Hasselwanter came into the Austrian programme before the 22 games, was going to be starting as a brakewoman. Didn't happen. She went off to university and she came back, won team trials and started driving. So again, very limited on driving, but what a great load into the sled.
15.
So 400s slower than her first heat, but a nice clean exit from 0. And this is corner 2, the Omega curve. Try not to take too much of a second wave. Lots of snow there from 3.
Yeah, hanging it off 4 there.
Yeah.
Skid going to 6, 7. Yeah, these are all the typical mistakes that you see in this track.
91 kilometers an hour, so 0.4 of a K up. Their speed again.
She's controlling it well though.
Now, because we're going in reverse order of their first heat performance, each sled should theoretically be quicker, but with the newcomers, not always guaranteed. She was 100th up, better speed. Yep. From 200s back, she should come across the line in front, and she does. There you are, the rules of physics haven't changed overnight. So 300s quicker than Lauren Jolo, so she extends her advantage overnight over Lauren to 400s.
You see that little dip in the second pressure, which brings her high coming out of 9. And then she takes a tap on the left and then back onto the right, which then puts her back into 11 earlier.
And then you've got to try and hold the height a little and not try and roll it off the end.
See there, she actually did a little check steer left coming off 11 then.
Yeah.
Just to keep herself back on it long.
So first day of the first Worlds is done for Lauren Jolo and for Lea Hasselwanter. More experience, Victoria Chinaska from Slovakia, Youth Olympic silver medalist 2020. This is her 3rd World Championships. She was in Altenburg 2021, Samoritz 23. She also went to the Olympics in 2022. So lights, camera, crowd won't phase her at all. The snow's not going to help you come into the snow here, and that's going to make it skiddy. You can really see the runner marks.
Yeah, when the snow's on the track, it just highlights, you know, where you've been, where your skids have been as well.
As any road car driver knows, a tiny bit of snow under your tyres makes them skid very easily. It's the same with the runners.
Yeah. It also slows the sled down in bobsleigh.
So 700s up as she sat down, opening up to 1300s up over Lea Hasselwanter.
And she has got the fastest speed still, which is good.
Yeah. She's definitely got the experience that the 2 first sliders we've seen don't. Whoa, but a big skid again.
Yeah, she's controlled it well there. It's looking like a tidy labyrinth.
Top speed at the bottom, 125 Ks. Wow, that's a big advantage. Now that could see her move up significantly. 59.24 compared to 59.60. The sled really did look a handful in the first heat, and that was much tidier.
Yeah, I think you're potentially going to see her climb a few spots there, Martin.
Well, what did she go? 3.5 tenths quicker, so 3.5 tenths from where she was would have been around 15th, not 23rd. It doesn't mean that nobody else is going to improve. But it just looked less of a handful.
Yeah, she's controlled it nicely.
Stunning livery as ever on the Slovak sled. Well, her first potential victim might be the first ever African World Championship bobsleigh competitor. Simi Adiegbo from Nigeria. And Simi was 800s in front of Victoria. Now, she had a major moment down at the bottom of the track which absolutely destroyed her speed of 13. If she can avoid that, then again, she could produce a run that's comfortably 3/10 quicker.
Yep.
Now,
She's 12 fastest start speed.
yeah, let's see if she can avoid hitting 0. She doesn't. She gets a bit too much of it again, 5.99.
Not as bad this time, but she has hit it too early.
But again, the track's changed because suddenly there's snow there that there wasn't in the first heat. So she's tried to steer about the right amount, and the back of the sleds, the rear bunks have hit the wall.
Yeah, you're not wrong. She's quarter of a second up though.
Yeah.
See if she can hold that.
Well, until 13, she looked like she had a really nice, tidy run going.
Yeah, she's losing time.
I was talking to her after training on day 1. She just said, I'm just far too excited. I need to calm the hell down. And she's absolutely right. This is a track where you've got to be super calm.
I would say that
Nice.
for every track as
Well,
well.
that's true, but some, like Altenberg and Sigulda, you've really got to drive. It takes, you've got to be really on it. Second best speed.
Yeah, she's going to keep it.
She's going to stay in front, isn't she? She
Whoa.
does, 59.27. So maybe she's going to move up the orders. And again, quarter of a second improvement.
Yep.
That's learning today's conditions compared to what it was like 2 days ago. So she has a 500s advantage over Victoria Chinanska. So she lost 300s in the run. I'm sure she'll take that. She didn't age 10 years, coming off 13 for a start.
It's those golden shoes she's got on.
Yes, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Didn't see those in training. And I did ask her for motorsport fans. She's not a Valentino Rossi fan, didn't really know who he was. And she actually wanted an all-black helmet, but that was the closest she could find when she was in Innsbruck. So there we go. Next up, a former brakewoman of Victoria Chinanska for Slovakia, now driving for the Czech Republic, Patricia Tanjarova. So Patricia ahead of her former driver, which is not a thing you want when you're in a bobsled, but when you're racing each other. So her advantage over Simi Adiegbo was 100th of a second. So 6:08 getaway.
Not good on the corner 0 there. She's hit the corner way too early and it's bounced her back into the right.
There'll be a few coaches going to their drivers now going, you need to have just a look at a couple of sleds through 0 because it's going to trip everybody up.
Yeah, I mean, she was 700ths down on the start from the first heat. Yeah. Coupled up with a hit on the corner 0, it's just going to compound now and it's going to get slower. So she really does need to drive this well.
Yeah, slower speed we've seen so far. Victoria Chinanska's sled is still the fastest down the track, or highest speeds at any rate, not the fastest.
Let's just get this clean now, stop any more bleeding.
Whoa, just about gets away with that. Second best speed. She'll drop a couple of spots behind Chinanska, she does.
3 spots.
That means Simi moves up 1, so Simidele Adiegbo in the leader's box. Hopefully she's got somebody to go and find her down bag with a jacket in it. As Patricia Tanjarova comes across the line in 3rd spot.
Yeah, she's run it long there, but she's actually looks like she steered it, or potentially got her foot caught on the D-rings.
Yep.
Quite a hard steer going on to corner 9 there.
Think she worried she's getting on a bit late.
Yeah. Dipped and it's gone back up at the end, but she's controlled it. It's come off reasonably okay for what happened in the corner.
Yeah. All right, so she drops a couple of spots, but she is still on the fringes of the top 25 down in our 2nd heat, first day of monobob action. Linda Wyszewski of Poland next up, 20th best start, 20th at the bottom of the track, and her advantage over Simi Adiegbo is also 100th of a second because she was in a tie for 20th with the Czech sled we've just seen.
6:03 in the first heat. What she got in the second? 6 dead, so 300th. Decent corner zero.
So she's breaking the first of 4 dead heats that we had in a field of 26 sleds. And 500s ahead of our current leader, Nigeria's Simiele Adiagbo.
She's a good little driver, is Linda. If she keeps it consistent, she should be okay.
She's got a little bit more experience on this track than some of those around her as well. Didn't really show that in the first heat. Second best speed, still in green.
Quite tappy. She was 1100s, now she's down to 1000s up.
Yeah. Well, Simi Adiagbo did not have the highest speed. That is still Victoria Chinansko, but the gap is coming down still.
Losing, yeah. Is she going to hold on to it? That's the thing.
Should be just about enough. Could be the first of our dead heats.
Oh.
No, found another 500s. Well, she had second best speed, which was quicker than Simi, so she got herself in front, added to that advantage. So she was 100th ahead of Nigeria. She's now a 10th up. And again, gaps are so small here, that might move her up a spot or 2 as well.
Yeah, potentially, Martin. She's gained that back there in the last few corners.
Yeah. Didn't allow the nerves to get to her and just did what she does well.
Quite a bit of tape flopping around in the back of the sled there.
See, that's a driver. Brakeman wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Drivers own the sleds typically and take a lot of care over them.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't help when you've got Sean Olsen as your coach, who's telling you off for having flappy bits on your sled.
Right, next up is Sarah Blizzard of Australia. Made her World Cup debut last week in Altenburg and made her commentary debut last week in Altenburg as well. First start, 6:10, so 22nd at the start, but drove herself into 19th place.
Good load there, Sarah.
Now, she's the first who really looks like she had a half-decent zero, but didn't get the best out of that square tap on the exit.
Yeah, I think what she's done there is try to level the sled, and it's brought her into the right-hand wall and just compounded it.
Yeah.
She's lost quite a lot of time there.
3,300s back, 4,300s back. Yeah, she's going to need to be very neat from below the Kreisel.
Yeah, if she keeps it clean, she'll stop the bleed.
Yeah.
Sixth fastest on the clocks. She is still losing time, fortunately.
Spent 2 weeks here last year. That's her only experience of the Winterberg track. Still only a couple of seasons of driving experience under her belt. 6th best speed. She's going to drop a handful of places, maybe down to 4th or 5th or 7th at the line. The speed really went away.
Yeah, I think that's all compounded through a couple of mistakes between 4 and 5, 6 and 7, and then definitely corner zero, the tap on the wall, back end skid.
Well, she'll be frustrated with that. She's down to 7th out of 7, and that means that tomorrow she will just have to have a really nice 3rd heat to guarantee that she's in the top 25. But I think from here, it's going to be tough to make it into the top 20. And it's the top 20 who go through into the 4th and final heat. It's skiddy at the back as well, trying to hold the nose a little low, maybe.
Watching back home.
All right, first World Championships, 2nd year of driving. Everybody's been there. They all have to learn. And the drivers at the top of the pile have done a bit more driving, or a lot more driving. Kelly van Petegem, another former brakewoman from Belgium, with Anne van Nieuwenhuis, her driver, now helping her learn the ropes, literally as well as metaphorically.
Same training group as Sarah. See what she can do the 2nd heat.
So Kelly just 24. Only 2 World Cup starts in mono. This is her first World Championships, being allowed to see where she's going. 6:03 getaway.
4th fastest velocity.
Doesn't look like anybody is finding much more speed at the start. Again, that's potentially down to some snow.
Yeah, I think it's probably right there, Martin. She's 1200s up there, which is good.
Yeah. her advantage over Linda Wyszewski was only 800s from the first heat. It's back down to 8, and she's not as quick. Wyszewski was second fastest in the Kreisel.
Yeah, she's bleeding time as well.
She's
Tap going into
a
9.
little bit more. Still 800s in it. She's dead level in this second run with Linda Wyszewski. She's living on her first heat advantage. Now she's building on it.
There you go, top speed.
And actually, that could be Anne van Nieuwenhuis building speed in the final corners. 59.17.
Yeah, good comeback there from Kelly.
There's Anne on the right. 2 thumbs up.
Big smile.
And a big Anne always had a big smile. Not always, actually. Not often in mono, to be fair, because she was in the first year of mono trying to figure it out, but she does love her sliding.
Yeah, I'm sure Kelly will be happy with that.
Yeah.
First day of World Champs.
Absolutely.
There you go, back end skid, tap into corner 9, but she's controlled the first pressure reasonably well. Then put it back on track. She does take a little bit of a slide off corner 10, which puts her slightly late into 11. But she has got a neat and a tidy labyrinth.
Well, some of the gaps here were absolutely tiny. I mean, apart from all the dead heats, because the next sled, Bianca Ribby, was only 400s in front of Kelly van Petegem after the first of our 4 heats. And for comparison, that is 400ths of a second, half the time it takes to blink your eye. 6:07 getaway, clean exit out of 0 though.
Really good corner 0 there, and that will help her take the velocity and speed.
So Lyndon Rush and Justin Cripps will have been watching what's happening and had a little word with her. Maybe there's just a little bit less snow there as well in the track now. Looks like it's snowing less heavily.
There's quite a lot of snow dust there on the track.
And it's a pretty humid day. It's not dry and cold. It'll be a bit yucky.
Fastest speed now 1.6, and she is gaining on the time as well, which is good. See if she can keep it there. Yep, still gaining.
Well, next sled ahead of her was, again, only 600s quicker.
She used all her corner 10 there to put her early into 11. And it shows.
Yeah.
2 tenths up.
And best speed we've seen so far, 126.2. Oh! Ribby comes across the line on the bunks.
Big smile from Cripsy there.
Yeah. And from her brakewoman who made her debut in the World Cup last week. Dropped in at the last moment on her birthday. That's a good drive from Ribby. Much more the sort of thing that I think she'll have been hoping for. There's quite a few fans have come over from Canada. So a bunch of family and friends yesterday in the skeleton races. And here as well for Bobsleigh.
Yeah, you see there, she actually hung it off corner 9 quite late, which actually helped her put it over into 11 early.
Let it fly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I meant to do that. All good. We're good here. It is the fast line. Don't steer. That's the fast way. All right, Catty Bile in the second of our 4 dead heats. So Catty Bile and Ying Qing of China tied to the 100th and only 1400s ahead of Bianca Ribby.
Clearly means business with the death stare on the block there.
Yeah, death stare on the block, beaming grin at the bottom.
Yeah. 6:02 start in the first, what's she got in the second?
Well, anything approaching
6:02.
6, yeah, there you go. So she's got the consistency and a clean run out of the 0 curve.
Yeah, just a little bit twitchy, but she's controlled it well. It's just her experience. Little check of the runners.
She didn't bounce it off the Armco barriers, which half the sleds have done.
Yeah.
Right, 1900s up when she sat down, maintains that advantage. Let's see what speed she's got into the Kreisel.
2300s up, second fastest speed, like 1.6. It's only 0.1 slow from the fastest. So she keeps it nice and tidy, she'll be first.
Still second best speed, long skid there, taking a bit of speed away.
But yeah, nice transition.
And you can feel the speed, you can hear it from the sled. 1600s up, third best speed.
She is losing speed though.
Yeah, and
1200s up.
a couple of hundreds slower than Ribby. She was 1400s up in the first heat. She's 1200s up. She won't be quite as encouraged by that. She was in a position where she thought she probably ought to be making up ground from a tie for 15th.
See the consistency of the next one. So Yingqing, so went off 8th from the first one, and Catty went off 11th, but they were a dead heat.
Yep.
So we'll see. Yingqing does start faster than Catty though.
Couple of skids there. Catty definitely still prefers the 2-seat sled to the mono.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell in the beginning of the season in Lillehammer, the Europa Cup.
She's a nutter. Catty Bale is also our leader after the first 10 sleds. So we had a tie for 20th, tie for 15th, there's a tie for 12th and a tie for 9th. No ties in the medals yet, but we're going to have to get one of those soon, aren't we? Yingqing of China then was tied with Catty Bale. Bale goes first because she matched the time. As you said, Ying had a slightly earlier start draw. Whether that made much of a difference in the ice, hard to tell. Let's see what she's got now. Catty started 6:02 in both heats. Ying 5:99.
Is she going to improve on her first one? No, lost the 100th.
A bit of a skiddy 0 as well. Kind of got up it and had to bring it off.
Yeah, it's almost like she brought the back end round to the left there. She is losing time already. Probably from the big steer she did in corner 0.
Dead heat before they started the run. Will they still be in a dead heat at the bottom? Obviously the odds say no.
Same speed as Catty at this point.
Exactly the same, and only 100th back.
She is making more mistakes than Catty, and that's probably where Catty's experience will shine through. Well, that was a great transition.
That was nice, just as nice as Bale. This is going to be very close. Are they going to be in a dead heat? Well, she's 300s up.
And it shows,
Oh, actually, second best speed. No, she's going to pull ahead of Catty Bale at the line.
Wow,
she does.
So she's brought that back with the from the skid.
Yep.
Coming out of 0. Great transitions down at the bottom of the track, and it's brought, it's taken the speed.
Yeah, Catty had a big drift down below the Kreisel down towards corner 9, and she didn't. And that, that acceleration as you come off the Kreisel didn't blunt it. And there's the classic brakewoman push, digging in, throwing the body forward to break that inertia, and then moving the hands around onto the handles. Again, the fans low down, getting nice photo opportunities, video opportunities. Yingqing moves ahead. She'll be no worse than 15th overnight. Now, Deborah Annan, the junior world champion in women's monobob. That's why she is the second Swiss sled. The Swiss have normally just one spot, but she makes it a second in the World Championships. The world champion always gets a free entry no matter what nation they're from into the Worlds. We'll have to find Dad Martin Annan and find out what he thinks of this whole business. 6:01, almost everybody in the sliding sport who has kids say, no, they're going to play football or tennis or something warm. I guess when you're Swiss, maybe that's more of an indication that bobsleigh's on the cards.
700's up.
Now, she's a tall athlete, but look how low she's sitting. She's always looking around the cow, keeping her head very low.
Yeah, I think she'll be sat quite far back in the sled.
And that helps move the weight over the back axle.
Yeah, she's losing speed.
Yeah.
Interesting, there's 0.4 of a kilometre between first and 7th.
Yeah.
And the speeds there.
She's just dropping behind Yingqing. Catty Bale's only 700s back. Is she going to be second or third at the line? Actually, she might be second. She's got very good speed at the line.
Whoa.
She has it by 100.
Got it.
59.08 in the first heat, 59.02 in the second. A whisker quicker.
Minimal steering in corner 14 saved her there.
There you go.
Right then, this next one will be an interesting one. Kim Kalicki, she went off last in the first heat.
Kim Kalicki and Melissa Lottholz tied for 12th, but Deborah Annan, former handball player, and the second generation slider. Now, she's also dating Timo Rona, who himself is the son of a Swiss bobsledding great, Marcel Rona. just sort of a little bit of a generational split between Marcel. He was ending his career as Martin Anning was really coming to form in his. Next up then, that tie between Melissa Lottholtz and Kim Kilicki. Now Kim, 15th fastest start, struggling with a calf and a bit of a hamstring over the last couple of weeks, and has not got race form in this sled this year. She's only done, I think, the first couple of World Cups. 5.97.
Yeah, 6.01 in the first, 5.97 in the second.
Bronze medalist in St. Moritz in the Worlds. I beg your pardon, bronze medalist here last year, 5th in St. Moritz in the Worlds.
Yeah, I think you'll find she'll stay in the leaders box for a couple of sleds potentially.
Well, she might do, but over Deborah Annan, she is only a 10th up at the moment.
Yeah, 1500s now, first top speed. I mean, she did, Martin, go off last in the first heat.
Yes. 91 kilometres an hour, just a whisker better than Bianca Ribby.
She's gaining.
And again, just ahead of us, some very tight groups. 2/10 up.
Lost a couple of hundredths though. She was the last corner got for her.
Cross the line, 58.85. All right, she had a 59.06 in the first heat, so that's 0.2 of a second better. Again, she is race rusty. She has not raced one of these sleds since before Christmas, actually. So she's, and trips in training, yeah, great and everything, but that's only half a dozen times down the track in 2 days, and it takes a while to get that feel back.
Yeah, look at the articulation in the sled going around corner 11 there. Yeah, I don't think she's the biggest fan of Monobob, is she?
She's not the biggest fan. She does love the women's bobsleigh, and she's going to be a definite medal threat in that. So, tied with Kim Kilicki was Melissa Lottholtz. Now Melissa needs to, again, improve by 2100s just to stay in the top 10. I wonder whose sled, is this her regular sled or is this one they've rented? Because normally Canadian sleds are black with the maple leaf. This one I thought in the first heat, that looks like a dark metallic blue, it does.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Martin.
5.98 getaway, so 100 behind. And she started 5.92 to 6.01 from Kim Kilicki, so she started nearly a 10th quicker than Kim in the first heat. And of course, very successful brakewoman in her previous sliding career. Nice lines though.
Yeah, these are good lines, to be fair to her.
She and Cynthia Appia both started driving monobobs around 2020. Again, just a little late hook up.
Yeah. Little tap going into 9.
5th best speed. Now, at the moment, she's still ahead of Deborah Annan.
Great transition into 11. This is where she's going to potentially gain some time back.
Tiny late flop, but decent speed at the bottom. She should be second at the line. She is second at the line. 100th, 200s ahead of Deborah Annan.
That's one down for Kim.
Yeah. Lyndon Rush you saw there. Lots of fans out here today. They love their sliding here.
Still out in the typical Winterberg weather.
Yeah. Well, we've had everything. We've had a bit of sun, we had a day of rain, some really heavy days of rain, we've had a bit of snow.
Yeah. Wonder if the mountain bikers are still on the ski slopes.
Oh,
I'm sure they will
be. I'm sure they will be. All right, so Melissa Lottholtz in second, Kim Kilicki the leader. Next up, Margot Bock of France, 11th place after the first of the 4 heats for the French driver. 13th in St. Moritz on her World Championship debut. She was 11th in the world in the Olympics in 2022. She knows this track relatively well. Had a few race weekends here. And although she doesn't start fast, she does know how to build speed in a sled.
Yeah, she certainly does. She started 18th and drove it down to 11th in the first heat.
Can't argue with that, can you?
No, absolutely not. Good load.
Yeah.
Drifting over, yeah.
And the good news for her is she runs out of speed quite early, and so she's in, down, and fully in control of the sled before zero and avoids those big hits.
Yeah, exactly.
And that gives her speed. Now you're getting times there. We're not. Oh, now we are. Okay.
1200's up.
Yeah. And this is over Kim Kalicki, don't forget, who knows this track inside out. 1300's up.
Yeah, fastest speed, 91.8 kilometres an hour.
Really nice driving from Margot Bock.
Yes, she is a good driver and she's quite experienced now.
Whoa, little tap there.
Just
Still better speed than Kalicki. Again, that perhaps is just showing how race rusty Kim Kalicki really is in a mono.
Oh, yeah, 1400's up. 7th speed though.
Yeah, those two taps have taken it a little bit away. Disappears under the cowl, 58.89. That's a good run, 58.92 in the first, 58.89 in the second. And that will allow her to challenge for a top 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 15th best start we're being shown, but I don't think that's going to be, that'll be corrected. We'll find out what it was. But those two little taps low down, that just robbed her a bit of speed. Might have cost her as much as a 10th, 1500ths of a second. So Margot Bock leads. We have our fastest 10 sleds still to come. Well, some Hardy fans down there. You can see the orange clappers. That's a lot of Kim Kalicki fans. Lisa Buchwitz fans are here as well. Her mum and dad there. Dad with the moustache and the glasses. Loads up at the start still. It's a great place to go and watch the action. You get all of that instant aggression of a bobsleigh start. And you know, Saturday and Sunday next week with the four-man, the big four-bangers going off. Yeah. That place is going to be rocking to the rafters. Down in the Kreisel, it's busy as well. Bit of Glühwein and a bit of bratwurst.
Yeah.
You know, why would you want to go anywhere else? And at the finish line, yeah, they're well sorted out here for Glühwein and bratwurst, which, after all, is the lifeblood of the sport.
Absolutely.
That and finance, obviously. But, yeah. So lots of fans here supporting Lisa Buchwitz. There'll be lots too in the pink hats of Lauren Alter. And the green, white, Vim Norman's there in the orange jacket in the centre.
Mr. Eurotech.
Yeah, the man behind Eurotech. And back building sleds with Eurotech, as well as a whole host of other things. A couple of British racing names with him. Ron Garofal and Martin Short are here in their first bobsleigh weekend. They're with Wim now in a big new Formula One 7-star motorhome creation business. Well, there's Margot Bock, your race leader. Lucky there is a little bit of cover just over the leader's box there, so she won't be building up too much snow. Lauren Alter's family there as well. Those are the Lauren Alter beanies. Her van's hard to spot, isn't it? What with the big bright pink and all.
I don't know, but I'm colourblind.
You have to be totally blind not to see Lauren Alter's down a dark alley on a dark night. All right. They're getting ready to get our race back underway. Snow still falling here in Winterberg. Fastest 10 sleds to come, and they're our final slider. And in that 10, Sylvia Hoffman on her debut. We've still got a bunch of new sliders here in the top 10 in the World Championship. Sylvia Hoffman, very successful US brakewoman in her first full season of driving.
Yeah, she had a huge start in the first one, with only 100th off Cynthia, which is the start record.
Yeah, 5.77 getaway. Got a little bit too much of the zero curve. Let's see if she can get in and down. Hands on the D-rings, leaning it in. That's nice.
Yeah, good corner zero.
Yeah, 5.82. Maybe just a few steps shorter to make sure she got it down.
It's interesting though, I think the start slowed down slightly, but I think the track has actually sped up a little bit.
Well, so much of the start is exposed to the snow. The other thing you get with a bit of wind behind the snow is it funnels right up that start ramp into the athlete's face, and actually that does make a difference.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. Anything going against you.
Sixth best speed, still 2,200s up on Margot Bock.
She's dropping those 1,700s now.
Fifth best speed.
She needs to keep it together, keep it clean. Ooh.
Bock was very smooth down here. This is a little late flop, and again, track's quicker than it was in the first heat. 10th best speed, she's got enough at the line. She does have enough at the line.
Just nicked it away.
She will be in the top 10 overnight in her first World Championship drive. And that is worth money in the bank in terms of confidence and performance tomorrow. 13 Monobob races. This is the 14th race that she has driven these sleds in. And it's the World Championships.
Yeah, I'm sure she'll be happy with that.
Yeah, you could hear she was. Well, nice Kreisel. She had a couple of early skids. And then as she got a bit late lower down as well as the speed picked up.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected. He looks a little bit sloppy sometimes off the labyrinths.
Yeah.
But that is just the nature of the track sometimes, especially in the 2-man and the 4-man.
She's buzzing. Little bit of shoe glue there, holding the spikes together for our next slider. And another of our rookies from Great Britain, Adele Nicholl. 27-year-old shot put champion, former brakewoman. She's got a silver medal in Sigulda in the World Cup with Misha McNeil.
She's told me she can improve on her start in the second heat, so
all right,
let's see that, Adele.
5:95 first heat. If she improves on the start, Sean Olsen and Graham Richardson will be happy. If she dinks off corner 0, they'll be less so. In and down. Neatly off. Doesn't get too much of a skid. 5:95.
Length, fastest velocity. Slightly early on to corner 2 there.
Right, 2/10 back very early on, and those are those errors up top. She's going to have to be very clean from here on down.
Yeah, she's a good driver and she'll be able to keep it together. Fastest speed.
There we go.
That's good.
And she had good speed in the Kreisel, good speed at the bottom in the first heat as well.
She's stopped the bleed now and she's starting to gain time back, which is good. Good transition. Slight tap going into 11, which puts it slightly late, but she's controlled it well.
She was the 12th sled out in the first heat, had very good speed, but that's very late, trying to hang on to 11.
Took a tap into 13 there, which put her in late, but she's controlled it well.
900's back, Sylvia Hoffman breaks the tie and will be no worse than 9th. Adele drops 2, will be no worse than 11th overnight.
Yeah, I imagine she'll be kicking herself for that transition in the labyrinth, but she'll go back, she'll reevaluate it, have a look at it, see what went wrong. See there, she's taken a little tap, has put her late into it, so she's had to do a big steer off.
Yeah.
But she's got it off. Actually, the transition into 14 is actually not that bad, considering, you know, it is a little skid.
A lot of rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
And every time you drop the sled like that, it just saps energy out of it.
Yeah. There's a break, ladies. Maddie and Kaya.
Yeah.
See them in the 2-man next week. Or 2-woman, should I say?
Yeah. Oh, there's Martin Annan in the black jacket. Can't mistake. Well, I was going to say that smile, but that smile and those ears. Melanie Hassler next up for Switzerland in a sled she has never driven before this morning. Our Swiss colleagues, Christian Reich, was telling me and Claude that this is a brand new sled driven here yesterday. Her regular race sled. There is something fundamentally wrong with it and they can't figure out what. So it's a brand new sled. Well, new to her anyway.
She's just come off corner 2 a little bit earlier.
Yeah. So the track workers still jumping in and sweeping snow. 800's back.
These are good lines though, nice and clean.
Sylvia Hoffman, Margot Bock and Adele Nicholl, the top 3 are covered by just 900s. So there's a lot of jeopardy there. You're either going to beat all of them or possibly lose to all of them.
Yeah, I mean, the gap between the first heat was quite close to them, so there's going to be some sort of...
Well, she just had 100th over Adele Nicholl and Sylvia Hoffman from the first heat. She's down to 4th place at the moment. She's dropping behind Adele and across the line she is behind. 4th. Sylvia moves up another one. And again, as we said, the bottom of the top 10, that gap was, those gaps were so tiny. You blink in the wrong place, you lose a spot.
Yeah, I mean,
well, Melly,
9th and 8th was 100th between 3 people, so
exactly, yeah.
A little bit more of a gap now between Melanie and Andrea.
And then Margot Bock was only 200s or 300s behind them. So, yeah, you had 4 sleds covered by 400s.
Yeah, certainly did, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's bobsleigh.
That's a dead heat, isn't it, basically,
Yeah.
between all four of them. I mean, you know.
Been podiums with less.
Yep. Well, the overnight lead in men's skeleton was just 0.04 of a second. Mel not looking entirely wrapped with today's action. Heading towards the fastest six sleds, Andrea Grecu. Now, she had 1100s in hand over Sylvia Hoffman from the first heat, and she was only 700s out of the top six. Grecu knows this track well. Paul Niago on the right at the back of your picture there lives here. This is where Romanian bobsledding is based, basically. And William Pacianu, the taller figure of the two, he's the head coach.
Yeah, they've got plenty of track time here.
Yeah. They've had
582 in the first, 584 in the second.
She's a good, strong starter. Now, she's been the quickest starter in a lot of the World Cup races, but has either mitigated that by needing to get in for corner zero, or the rest of them have just upped their game a fraction.
10th up now.
Yeah. She had 1100s over Sylvia Hoffman. Started 200 slower. She's got
She's gaining
4
now.
years more driving experience. Fourth best speed. Adele Nichols still quickest into the Kreisel. And Adele was quicker down here as well. 91.1 is top speed.
Reasonably decent transition from 9 into 11.
Clean.
This is where she carries the speed now. She's driving it well.
Oh, only the ninth best
fastest.
though. Cross the line, 2600s up. Wow.
Another 900s in the last corner.
Wow. 58.72.
That's a great finish time, that.
Well, 600's better than her first heat. Yeah, they're getting a fraction quicker now with every sled. Speeds are rising, but we are getting to the fastest women in the first heat.
Yeah, the big six.
Yeah.
Just like we predicted as well.
Again,
actually.
we sort of thought Andrea and maybe Melly Hassler could have been in there as well. Andrea might still. Mel Hassler, she ain't going to make it. 6 to go. Kim Kilicki is still 6. So from 26 in the field, she's got up to the top 12. And there are some rookies ahead of her, like Keisha Love. First World Championships in the front seat. In the Worlds last year, she was braking for Kaylee Humphries in the women's bobsleigh. Oh, nice load again. Gets in. 577. How can she load so early and be so damn fast?
Hangs it off corner zero a little bit there. She had to control it between 0 and 1. She's done okay.
1400s up. 1500s up. This is to stay in the top 10 overnight.
And this is where you see the time and speed carries.
A 10th.
If you keep it clean.
Okay, still fourth best speed. Quicker than we saw from Andrea Grecu. Still fourth best speed. Another nice looking drive from Keisha Love.
Tap going into 11.
Takes the leg pressure. Clean transition.
Oh, is she going to keep hold of it?
Oh, flop out of 13.
14,
800s. It's going to be
fastest.
close. At the line.
Oh.
It is close. 58.78. Top 6 overnight. Lots of smiles and applause from the US coaches. And down here at the bottom as well.
Yeah, any mistakes down the bottom, it just gets compounded in that last corner because it's such a big uphill.
And she is our top rookie. Wow.
Yeah, you see there, she's gone low in 11, which then brings you back up high. Then obviously means you have to do more steering to come off of it. 2
wins this season in the World Cup. She's in the top 6 in the World Championships. It's her second year driving bobsleds. What, me? Yeah, you.
Yeah, she's not doing too bad.
Wow.
Right, Supermum, what she got?
Properly is. Yeah. Well, baby Nico was 4, not baby anymore, was 4 during the week. So Nick Taylor, her husband, here this week as well. Hasn't seen the kids for a long while. And what about Alana Myers-Taylor? A new sled in the last few weeks. This MUSA sled built by the man you saw her shouting off there, Mark Vandenberg, who built the Eurotech sleds.
579.
Much better zero corner, much better.
Right, let's see what she's got then, because I think the zero corner in the last heat probably robbed her from just some speed.
I would have thought that probably took 2/10 out of her downtime.
Yeah, potentially.
Let's see what she's got. 300s up. 800s up.
Yeah,
best speed. Okay, and it's below Kreisel where her experience is really going to start to show.
4 fastest speed now.
Yeah.
She's still 1100s up, which is good. Oh.
Building her advantage, little nudge away in 10. Should have done that a dozen times over the years, no question. 1500s, shooting for the medals. Little nudge coming into 14 and across the line.
1600s up.
Yeah.
Not bad for Team USA, that.
Not bad. Both in the top 6, or 2 in the top 6. And how far back is Sylvia Hoffman? She's 4th with the fastest 4 to go. So Hoffman 8th on her debut. Keisha Love will be no worse than 6th on her debut. That's impressive driving from the 2 newcomers. And Alana, a year away last year from driving, still working back to full starting fitness, but she can still remember how to get a sled down here. Different proposition, this MUSA sled as well. She was telling me it drives just like the old BMWs used to, but she's been racing a BTC for the last couple of years, so it's a lot of transition work going on. Trying to get the spring into her step is Lauren Alter, the local queen. 4th after the first heat, 800ths of a second off the lead. She's got a great shot here. Every 100th at the start will count.
Ooh, 589 in the first, and she's dropped 600ths.
Well, she gets a nice clean run through 0.
I'm sure she'll drive this back into a decent position.
Yeah. 1100s behind Alana Myers-Taylor, out to 1700s. Alana started 79, and she started 95, so giving away 1800ths of a second at the start. And at the bottom, maths tells us that should be 4800s back.
Fastest speeds.
Yeah. She's not going to be 4800s behind Alana. She will outdrive her start. Same speed as we saw from Alana. Gap is inching down. Oh!
Late into 11 now.
Not going to help. Alana had a tap, but not a big one. She's going to lose the spot. The question is, does she lose 2? No 900s back. So Alana, 1 away from the medals. 58.83. Talked to her after she won faster at the start to beat the fast girls, or to stay with the fast girls is what she's saying.
Oh, she doesn't do a bad job, man.
She does not do a bad job. Well, she is our reigning Monobob world champion. Beat Kaylee Humphries and Lisa Buchwitz into 2nd and 3rd in St. Moritz. And boy, that was a massive emotional day as well. Our redemption after crashing out of the women's. Don't forget, she is going to be in the hunt for the women's gold as well. Lana Myers-Taylor, the leader, with the fastest 3 to go. And in that top 3, after the first heat, what a good place to be for Bree Walker of Australia, with the great Pierre Luders coaching her, who was A, such a successful driver himself, and B, brought out everything in a young prodigy called Kaylee Simonson, who then became Kaylee Humphries.
584 in the first heat, Martin. Let's see what she's got.
588.
588. Okay.
Still that start area not as quick.
No, it's not.
But it's driving this track that's going to keep her in the medals. She's got a start that is in there.
Yeah,
but she's
already
not alone.
Back already, which is good.
Yep. What did she have over Alana? She had 500ths of a second in the first heat. She's back 100th back.
Ninth fastest there.
Yeah, not the greatest speed. Not sure how much choice of runners they've got, whether they're not quite ideal for the conditions. She's going to be second at the line ahead of Lara Nolte.
Late into 11.
Or is she? Is she going to drop a couple of spots here? She may well drop a couple of spots here. Sixth best speed, I think that's quicker than Lara Nolte had. At the line, just in second by 200. She nearly brought it back.
Wow. Supermum is in the top 3.
Yes, she is. And we may not be done yet with change-up time because the gaps were so tiny. Hard to critique some of these top runs, isn't it? The mistakes are there in super slow-mo, but they're so tiny.
I mean, you're never going to have a perfect run. It's just how you deal with that run.
All right. Disappointment on her face as she slips a spot behind Alana, but it's only day 1. Still 2 more heats to go.
Right then, Cynthia.
Experience brings consistency, and consistency wins medals. Cynthia Appia also start record in the first heat. Now, she's been nowhere near start record pace all season long.
Been saving it for Winterberg.
Boy, hasn't she? And look at the way she gets in. She explodes so early. She's loading probably earlier than any other athlete. 5.81 the getaway and a clean 0. And she clattered off that in the first heat, same as Alana.
Yeah, consistency is key for Cynthia now.
600s up on perhaps the best bobsleigh driver in the field. Certainly the one with the most medals, Alana, but 18th best speed, is that right? If it is, it can't be that far off. She's a kilometre an hour down.
8 fastest speed.
Yep. Now just half a K back. She accelerated
Tap going into
well.
11. She can have a big wave the second bit. She controlled it nicely.
Needs to be clean off 13.
Yeah, Labyrinth's looking good.
Oh,
she has lost quite a bit of time.
Going to plummet down the order. This is not great for Cynthia Appia.
Wow.
6th at the line.
Wow.
Well, we haven't had anybody in the 59s since 59.02 by Melissa Lottholtz, her teammate, 10 sleds ago. So everybody who's just come down before her
Yeah,
has
the
been
track's starting to slow now.
in the 58s, or was it just too many errors?
I mean, there've been a multitude of factors. You know, all this lot started early on in the first heat. It started snowing. Snow's now got in the track. Clearly, the starts are slowing down.
Well, Alana has produced a run that nobody else has been close to, even within a 10th.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean to Lisa Buchwitz? Because Alana was only 1300s behind Lisa. So, unless she can produce another track record, she might be in trouble. The gap first to second, Myers-Taylor to Walker is 200s. Lara Nolte is only 900s back. Lisa Buchwitz has produced some stunning monobob races this season. I mean, in a class of her own, in a category that you never thought last year she'd be in 12 months.
Wow.
Wow, a huge start, 5.77.
400s faster than her first heat.
Yep. 100th off the start record of Cynthia Appia, and she was clean in 0 and 1.
Yeah, and that will just help towards top speeds and fast times down on the bottom.
Look, she's driving well in the 2-seat sled, but she is phenomenal in the monobob this season. The only person who's got near to her is Keisha Love. 91.9, 3rd best speed. Gap's coming down a whisker. Another little tap. Takes another few hundreds away.
She is losing time now.
Yep. Good from 9, straight through 10 to 11. Got to be smooth off 13.
Oh, she's going to keep hold of it.
Little flop. She will lead by maybe 1 or 2 hundredths. At the line, it's 9. Whoa. Not as quick as Alana.
It's the overnight leader.
Alana has the fastest run. No, she doesn't, Andrea. Oh, no, she does. Yeah, 58.69. So Alana closed from 1300s to 900s. Lisa Buchwitz, the overnight leader. The strong money was on Buchwitz. Becoming world champion. Her form this year has been so exceptional in the mono. Yeah. Hey, you can afford one bad one. You can't afford two bad ones. Alana Myers-Taylor in second. Brianna Walker in third, ahead of Lauren Alter, Keisha Love and Andrea Grecu. Then Sylvia Hoffman behind Cynthia Appia, but ahead of Margot Bock and Adele Nicol. Mel Hasler in 11th. Kim Kalicki up to 12th. Melissa Lotholt's dropped as well. And there's the family. I tell you what, it's going to be... I think there's going to be a lot of celebrations for this woman tomorrow. Final sled is Romania's Georgeta Popescu. She's out of the top 25. And she can pick up a spot. The track is quick enough. We've just seen some very fast runs. If she can use that to move into the top 25. And ahead of Sarah Blizzard, maybe Lauren Jolo of the Netherlands as well. She's not going to make the top 20 in the final heat, but it's nice not to be last off in heat 3.
Yeah, she just needs to keep it nice, clean and tidy.
And at the moment, it is
26th at the moment.
Yeah, it is a slower run. First heat down was a 59.88.
Hung it off 8 there.
And off 9. Oh,
yeah, it's looking a bit untidy as it's
gets a lot of 11. She's trying too hard to find speed. The Youth Olympic champion 2020 ends day one in 26th position, 59.95. So not only did she not find any speed, she went slower, yeah. Off a 200's quicker start. Bobsleigh mass tells it should be 3 times that. 600's faster at the bottom. And in fact, she was 700 slow. It was an untidy looking run. And here's one of those late exits. And presumably finding it to be a very different track from when she came down nearly 2 hours ago.
Yeah, look, so she's driven it down in the middle of 9, which then puts you straight back up. Luckily, you can get away with it in a monobob.
Yeah.
2-man. Not so much, 4-man, definitely not.
No, and it's the added meat. It just like the load isn't strapped to the deck. It just shifts.
Yeah.
It goes down with gravity, and the sled follows. So Georgeta Popescu has finished the second heat, and Lisa Buchwitz will be first out tomorrow. Will go fast to last in the third heat, and she will, she hopes, position herself then for a valedictory performance and a cruise to gold in the fourth. But she's got the most decorated women's bobsleigh driver in the field hot on her heels. Alana Myers-Taylor. Brianna Walker, still the most successful race winner, I think, in terms of outright monobob wins. Not all at World Cup level, but she is an absolute demon in a monobob. And then Lauren Alter, there's a little gap back. Nolter, and then suddenly the logjam. Keisha Love, Andrea Greco, Cynthia Appia. Then a gap back to Sylvia Hoffman and Margot Bock and Adele Nicol, just ahead of Melly Hasler. Kim Kalicki could move up a few. But Melissa Lotholtz, Deborah Annan, Ying Ching, another tight group there. Katy Bile just ahead of Bianca Ribby. And then in the battle for the top 20, Simi Adiagbo overnight in the top 20 for Nigeria on her debut, and with a handy margin. She could well go through to the fourth and final heat if she has a clean one tomorrow. Well, that's it for Monobob Day 1. 2-man begins this afternoon at 1300 local, which is in just 90 minutes. That's midday GMT, and that's the almost respectable time of 0700 Eastern. Wherever you are, thank you for joining us. From Adam Baird, me, Martin Haven, and the IBSF TV crew, we will see you at 1300 midday GMT for the start of the 2-man competition. And the women will be back in action tomorrow morning. We'll see you then. Bye for now.
in Winterberg.
That's the fast line.
Teams Eiserne über 1700. Also nicht stattgefunden. Ilana macht das. Das in der Feldteams Eiserne in Winterberg.